Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Wow Wednesday. If it's Wednesday, this is the place to be to get your midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration so that you're consistently moving forward, enjoying your life, feeling inspired and prosperous. Today, we have with us a fan favorite in the Women's Prosperity Network community, Barbara Johnson, who is known as the Heart-Centered Accountant. And today we're going to pause for a moment and do a mid-year check-in and check-up on your money, on your finances, and creating more wealth and prosperity. So I'll bring Barbara on in just a moment. I want to share a couple of quick announcements for things coming up and happening in our community. So first of all, this past weekend, I think it was this past weekend, yeah, we hosted our 2-day Level Up workshop. And we offer this twice a year so that you take a pause from working so hard in your business to take that helicopter view and say, okay, where was that goal I had in the beginning of the year? Let me see all the successes I've had, maybe some of the misses, and then refresh, review, and then go ahead and forge ahead for the remainder of 2023. There was something special about this particular Level Up, and maybe I say that about all of them, but I don't think so. Right, Barbara? Like there was something really special about this one, and I think it was a combination of just the energy that may be happening around us right now. The guest speakers that we had, Barbara was one of them, Janet Fish, Catherine Yarborough, and Rita Thomas, just bringing so much value. And then each and every person who showed up brought this amazing desire to make a difference in the lives of other people, to really get out there and be the change makers. And I'm sharing all of this with you right now, not so that you salivate and go, oh, I wish I was there, but to let you know that I've taken the meatiest parts of the Level Up. And this Friday, June 23rd, from 12 to 2 Eastern, I'm going to host this little mini Level Up because we need more people like you activated, engaged, and inspired to have this be your best year ever. So go to the calendar for womensprosperityNetwork.com. You'll see it there, Friday, June 23rd. So join us for that. Saturday, we have our monthly mastermind experience with the guest speaker is Catherine Yarborough. So be sure you tune in for that. And all the information is listed on our website. So check it out. Join us. Come play and take your vision and your mission to the next level with us. And with that, somebody who has consistently been going, woo, with her vision, making a difference in the lives of so many people, Barbara Johnson, welcome to Wow Wednesday.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you, and everything is really just lining up so beautifully to support our community in making this their best year, right? We have that opportunity, and I think you're pretty on track for that for yourself, aren't you?
Yes, definitely.
We love that. If you want more of that, listen in because you can have it too. So let's go ahead. Let me introduce Barbara. Known as the Heart-Centered Accountant, Barbara frees her clients so that they can do what they love most. Her services are designed to allow business owners stress-free tax time, knowledge for growth, and peace of mind, knowing that they can focus on their business and enjoy their life. She is backed by a team of industry experts, and she provides you with the tools to focus your energy toward building your business, reaching your goals, or just knowing your numbers without losing time with family and friends. So welcome, Barbara.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so much fun. All right, so let's talk about, the elephant in the room. It's not fun to work on my numbers. I don't like spreadsheets. It's confusing. Blah, blah. Right? Like that's the biggest challenge we need to just address and get off the table. So speak to that a little bit.
Well, I mean, I understand a lot of entrepreneurs, they focus on the passion, the purpose. They want their business to grow. They put everything into it. And those numbers are kind of set aside. Well, the biggest thing is, though, those numbers, hold information and insight that actually will help you skyrocket your business, right? It's actually like, everybody says eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, your numbers are the windows to your business's soul. If you know your numbers, you can, you'll track your revenue, your expenses, and you can see that you're making money and not just, I constantly feel like I'm never making progress, but you can see it in cold, hard facts, right? This helps you have a mindset of abundance because you can see it, it's there.
And it also helps guide your activity, your energy. I remember when I started my first business, which was, my first full-time business was a title company. And this is back in the early 2000s. And I can remember mid-month feeling a little bit stretched and pinched. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm making enough money. And like I had this undercurrent of worry going on. And around the 15th to the 16th of the month is when I started tracking. What am I to? Okay, how much revenue did I have coming in this month? And I kept track every single month. And we still do this, obviously. But it was a real eye opener for me that I was carrying unnecessary worry for those first few weeks. I did my numbers and I was like, oh, I'm on track. This is where I was at last month, mid-month. So I'm pacing well, or I'm ahead of it, or I'm a little bit behind. Oh, but look at the deals I have in my pipeline. So it changed my attitude and my energy on a huge level when I started really paying attention in that way.
Yeah, actually, the best thing is once you know your numbers, it's like regularly taking your blood sugar, your heart rate, your, when you're exercising, you want to watch your pulse. You want to know, are you exercising and making it or not?
Mm-hmm.
And your numbers lets you know, where are you? How are you doing? And you can see the progress. And yeah, you're absolutely right. If you know where you are this month compared to last month, you can say, okay, I'm on target to actually still be doing really well. Or, wow, my numbers are just skyrocketing right now. I'm going to have a great month this month because I've already got these deals going. But you look at the whole picture, and it's really, really cool how that works. And it lets you know, okay, I'm having a down month. I need to pull in some of these expenses because I'm not going to be able to pay certain things unless I keep track. I can't go out to dinner every time I kind of want to. I need to rein that in a little bit because money's not coming in right now as much as it is. But then next week, look, I've got this deal, and this deal closing, all of these clients coming in. It'll be easier next week.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. And, you just touched upon something that I believe, because I had this experience myself, is an area of throwing money away. I'm just going to call it that, right? And that is when you don't pay attention to your numbers, looking at your bank statements and, going through everything that's being charged, there are monthly things that you're not using. And I've done this, unfortunately, in the past. Don't do it anymore. I've done this in the past. I had one that was like $297 a month, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that, or I'm gonna cancel it. And then 30 days goes by, and I still haven't done something with it, or it's a $12 one or a $10 one. It all adds up.
Absolutely. And one thing I do, I have a debt-free challenge, and I have another one coming up here. In that challenge, we actually look at those. I have everybody bring a year's worth of statements so that they can see, oh, I've been paying for the Discovery Channel every month now. I never watched the Discovery Channel. That's a $6 charge monthly. Okay, well, that doesn't seem like much, but in a year, that's $36. What could you do with 36 extra dollars?
Yeah. Right. Imagine if you took that $36, stuck it into one of your investment accounts, or take that $6 a month that you're spending and roll it into some kind of automatic deposit. Thank you, Deborah Morrison. I love my Betterment account. Oh, yeah. And then you're taking advantage of compound interest instead of letting them take advantage of you. Right.
That is a big thing. That is a big thing. You could take that and actually put it in a profit account, so that you have that sitting there gaining for rainy day or future, or just knowing a peace of mind of, hey, I've always got money in my business.
All right. We need to talk about this profit account? Because this is going to be a new concept to many people. So what is a profit account? Because many of the entrepreneurs, especially startups or a few years in, if you haven't heard this concept yet, you may be feeling, oh, just making sure there's enough, money at the end of the month, and not really seeing benefit for yourself. And that's, again, that energy of always, like a little rat in a maze having to do it. So let's talk about this profit account.
The thing with the nice thing about it is there's a system. It's called the Profit First system. It's Mike Michalowicz. I mispronounce his name all the time. He has a book and it's called Profit First. What this is designed to do is it's to make any business, including startups, profitable from the get-go. It's kind of like a budget, because what happens is you have different accounts, one of which is a profit account. Of course, you have your operating expense account and stuff like that. But this shows that money comes in and you divide it among these accounts. So you always have money so you're always paying yourself, because you always want, who works and doesn't want money coming from that into their personal life? You can't, that's what, to me, it's the reason I want to have a business is so I can pay my personal expenses too. Right. But you have this profit account. And what this is this is showing you, it gives you peace of mind, but it shows that you're actually making a profit. Even if you just take 1% of the money coming into your business and put it into this profit account, it adds up. And it shows you that you can see, okay, look, my business is actually making money. And what he advertises and what I actually advocate as well is from that profit account, you take a quarterly distribution of your profits. You take half of that money and do something with it, not for the business, not pay your personal expenses. Go do something. If it's $10 that you get to pull from there, go buy a coffee at Starbucks, something you wouldn't normally do, but you're going to go splurge on something. If your profit account gives you $100, go out to a movie with the family and, live it up right or something, do something fun with that, because that's your profits. It's surprising. The first time I took a profit from my profit account, I took the kids to Disney, and it was amazing. The idea of, we were on a budget when we were at Disney because Disney's expensive, but it was like, this is something my business paid for. This is fun. And I knew I could do this again in 3 months. There was I'm getting something from all of my work.
So I love that you're doing it. So put the money in the profit account and do half of it as something pleasurable, right? Pure pleasure. And the difference I see in doing it in this fashion is when you took the kids to Disney, you had a budget and, you had, a framework that you were spending within, but there was nothing about, oh, this is going on the credit card. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to pay for it.
Right.
Very different, and this is a free experience. And that's really what's setting this up. That is so, so cool. You mentioned 1%, and I want to talk about that a little bit, because sometimes if you've got, lots of bills to pay, people on your team, you've got debt in the business, or debt in your life that you want to pay off, it feels, why should I pay myself first when I should pay my bills first? So how do you get around that process psychology?
Well, it's actually improper psychology. You have to take care of yourself first. If you aren't in your business, if you're not running your business, where's your business going? It dies. So you have to take care of yourself first. You need to pay yourself something. Like I said, 1%, it's okay. 1% of $500 is what? $5. You can afford to put $5 into a little tiny account and let it sit there. It's an easy thing to do, but it gives you something. And that mindset of, I'm saving, I've got money coming in. I'm not completely broke. I'm not scrambling at the end of the year to do things, because I have, it's a stress-free thing. It really is. I will tell you, being able to take the kids and not put it on a credit card and having that debt add up was really, great. It was a freeing thing to not stress about, you know, okay, I'm having this great fun. That's great. But now turn around and I'm $1,000 in debt for what?
Right, for some great memories, and we want to have those great memories. And there's a better way to do it. And Laura Barker wrote in the chat, she's like, you never miss the 1%. Right. It can, and I've always heard pay yourself first. Take 10% off the top to take care of yourself. And that can feel like a lot if you're feeling squeezed already. Mm-hmm. But I think the other piece of this is, and I want to learn a little bit more about the debt-free challenge. The other piece of it is taking a look at your expenses and seeing, what are you spending your money on? So let's talk about this debt-free challenge a little bit.
Well, the debt-free challenge is actually going to be, it's eye-opening to a lot of people, because many times it's like you don't miss the 1% going into the profit because you never really see it the way we set it up. With debt, it creeps up on you because you have all of these little tiny charges that go on a credit card, and they're automatically charged, and you don't think about it. They're just there. And you pay that credit card bill every single month, and you don't really look at it. So what the debt-free challenge is it actually starts looking at what is actually going on those cards. What is actually coming out of the business? What do you have going in, and what that gap is? You know, do you have a surplus where you can start paying off those credit cards rather than doing that, rather than, keeping a running balance? Or do you need to look at, okay, I have these expenses. Can I use some of, if I cut back on, I don't need the Discovery Channel, can I put that into an automatic payment to a credit card to get it start being paid off? And you can actually use different systems to snowball it into becoming debt-free and totally, it is a free thing. It's a freeing feeling to not have, all this heavy weight on your shoulders of credit card debt constantly. Credit cards used properly are amazing, but most people carry this balance, and it's like trying to push a rock uphill. Down at the bottom when the slope is really, really light, it's not hard to push it. But then the more you roll it up and the more you roll, you get tired, the bigger it gets, because it keeps gathering, and it's hard to push.
Yeah.
What I do with the debt-free challenge is help you reverse it, so you're rolling that rock downhill, getting things paid off.
We like that a lot. And I just put the link in the chat and on Facebook for how you can register for this. Go to tinyurl.com/debt-free-MC, all lowercase, all one word. So it's tinyurl.com/debt-free-MC. And is it a one-time thing, or is it just a single class? Do we do things over time? How does it work?
It's a single class. I will send you emails ahead of time so you come to class prepared. There's going to be a workbook. I am because of Wow Wednesday giving it at a discount right now. It's normally $47, and I've dropped it to $27 for the Wow Wednesday crowd, just because I'd like to get lots of people into becoming debt free. It's the mid-year. We also look at planning for Christmas. Everybody says, oh, let's have Christmas in July. What you should be planning for in July is Christmas.
It's in December.
Right. That way you can go into December going, here's all the gifts. I already know what I'm getting, how much it costs, and I don't have to put it on a credit card. It's all paid for and stuff. And so we look at that a little bit in this debt-free challenge as well, because you need to plan for those birthdays, Christmas, holidays, so that you're not constantly paying off the credit card to recharge it back.
Love it. Love it. We're going to open up in a little while for questions from everybody. So jot your questions down. And Barbara, I brought some of my own to the table. Is that okay?
Certainly.
So you mentioned a moment ago, credit card leveraging. It can be great used properly. How do you define the difference between used properly and improperly?
Well, using a credit card because you don't have cash immediately is great, because then you can take advantage of special offers. I want to get this deal that's going on at Costco right now, because I need it for a new computer or something. So you charge that on the credit card, but the deal is to leverage it properly. You want to pay that off at the end of the month, because when you carry that credit card debt, it doesn't come with other consequences. You have an interest rate that goes on it, and those are never small. The banks are giving you on your savings account 0.5% interest, 8% if you do money markets and play the stock. But these credit cards, they're taking 18%
minimum.
Yes. And so it's hard to buy something immediately because you don't have the cash in your hand is great, so long as you make sure, okay, at the end of the month I'm going to pay that off. That way you're not skyrocketing that bill, because it's going to jump up quick.
Right. So know that. So if you're going to do a big purchase and you have a credit card with interest, that charges interest, when you make the purchase, know that you're going to pay it off at the end of the month. That's one of the main things. There are some benefits to that, because I know I get rewards and points and all of that. So I like to use my credit cards to buy things and then pay off at the end of the month, because they're actually giving me perks for letting the credit card use my money for the month. Let's face it, that's what they're doing. We get behind the scenes on this stuff.
Yeah. I will tell you, I have the Spark credit card by Capital One, and I get 2% every time I buy something at Office Depot, or Office Max, if you want to call it, Staples. And it's 2% of whatever I spend. Well, I'm an accountant. I go through paper a lot, and I have a printer which goes through ink a lot. And so but it adds up. After a month of making purchases of office supplies, which I truly love anyway, I get that extra little boost. It's only 2%, but it's like a savings account. I'm getting interest on the money I'm spending instead of interest on the money I'm saving.
Very good. Very good. All right. So that's one piece of it. And then also, as it pertains to, leveraging credit in a good way for your business, I know, for example, there are 0% credit cards. PayPal offers a 0% financing. And I've done that to purchase things on. And there's something you have to be careful around that. You want to address that a little bit?
Absolutely. I love PayPal credit, because you can actually charge a total year of WPN on PayPal credit, and you get 6 months to pay that off with 0 interest. And it's fantastic, because then you get to spread it out. The person you're paying gets the money right up front. You get to spread it out, no interest. The bad part about that, and this is the bad part, is if you take longer than 6 months to pay it off, all of that interest that hasn't been there for those 6 months gets shot on there right immediately.
I know.
It's not a small percentage.
Yeah, you got to watch that really carefully. Yeah. And so again, it's about mindset. It's about paying attention to your numbers. So if you purchase something for $3,000 through PayPal and you have 6 months, now you want to plan for $500 a month. I'm paying this baby off.
Absolutely.
That's how I leveraged it myself.
It works great. It's a fantastic way to do things. And those are the types of tricks that I like to talk to people about when doing the debt-free challenge, because it's not only about paying off the cards, it's about keeping them paid off, but still getting the advantage of having them.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And this may be off topic a little bit, so just tell me if this isn't your domain. When you have credit card debt, let's say you can't pay it all off. And maybe you have 3 credit cards that are really close to being maxed out. So your credit score is being hit. I've heard different theories on how to pay them off and the percentage of the amount that you can charge. I know there's the credit limit versus the amount you owe. Do you have any input on that?
I work with it a little bit, but it's not my specialty. Okay. I know when you're with the way the debt works, you want to start paying things off one card at a time to get that lower. Because if you're going to carry any sort of credit card debt, it can be a good credit thing to have less than I think it's less than 30% of the card's value on just being carried month to month. However, you have to look at it though, you're carrying that balance, they're still charging you 18 to 36% interest.
It's not smart money.
Right. It's not smart money that way. It will give you a little bit better credit looking because you're under that 30%, but it's still, in my opinion, and somebody else would have to, I'm not a specialist in this. In my opinion, it's better to charge on it and pay it off.
Mm-hmm.
That way they see that you're using the credit. So it does still give you a decent credit rating or a good credit rating, but you're not carrying it and paying that extra money every month.
And it's also keeping you away from the water's edge of going over, right? Like that's one thing, like, oh, it can be, I'll just put it on the credit card. But if you're carrying a balance, now the balance is bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's harder and harder to pay off too, right? So yeah, stay away from the edge of the water. That way. All right, one more question, and this is having to do, I know that you handle bookkeeping. Do you file tax returns for people? You do all of that, right?
All of that.
All that good stuff. So when you have your own business, and let's say it's an LLC, and you have a personal 1040 account, and you have a corporate tax return to file, all of that can be confusing for people. Can you give us a little education on the best ways to set these things up?
Well, personally, the best way to do it, let's put it this way, is you have a personal account and a business account, and you don't mix them, period. There's like put a line of in the sand and don't ever mix them. It's the cleanest way to do things. It keeps you out of trouble with the IRS beyond anything else, because everything on the business card is business. Everything on the personal is personal. As far as tax time goes. Now, I will tell you, with the profit first system, your business is still going to be paying your taxes, even if it's going for your personal taxes, that's what you kind of want. You're a sole proprietor. The reason you're in business is to have the business pay your expenses.
Right.
You're still trying to, help people. Don't get me wrong on that. That's not even, that's a definite thing. But you have a tax account set up just like your profit account, where a certain percentage goes into that, so that every quarter you pay estimated taxes towards your personal tax.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so your business is paying those types of things. But when it comes down to it, if you're a single member LLC, you're still putting everything on what they call a Schedule C, a business expense, on your personal tax return.
So you don't have to file two different tax returns.
You're not filing two different tax returns unless you elect to be an S corporation, which is its own complete entity. And then there's other things that go with that. And so, yes, you do file a separate tax return for that. If you're a partnership, like two people other than husband and wife in business together, you have a separate tax return. Mm-hmm. And so those are different entities, which the rules are much more stringent. If you're a sole proprietor, many times people mix monies, and it's a bad business practice. And if you're ever audited, it doesn't help your case at all. Matter of fact, it hurts it. But in those instances with the partnership and the S corporation and the C corporation, it's required that you have separate accounts, completely separate, and you don't mix funds at all, because those are separate bank accounts. They're considered separate entities. Right. With the sole proprietor, they call it a disregarded entity, because it's like, that's all your money. That's almost the way it's okay. It's all your money. Just make sure you take care of it.
I never heard that before. That's amazing. Disregard. Well, and I think part of what, could lend to that is the number of small businesses that don't last. And in part because they don't have someone like you saying, here, let's pay attention to the money. Yes, you have a passion, you have a gift, you're making a difference. Now let's show you how to be a business owner.
Yeah.
Which is really essential.
There's actually a statistic of only 25% of sole proprietors that go into business actually last 10 years.
Wow. Wow. All right. Well, good for all of us that are still at it.
Absolutely.
Still making it work. Yesterday, I was reading the timeline of Colonel Sanders and Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he actually started selling chicken for the first time at the age of 40 in a service station that he purchased. And then that business failed. And then the next thing he did failed. And it took him from age 40 to age 64, 24 years to have the big boom that he did. So let's all hang in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's open for some questions. If you're here with us on your computer, you can simply unmute yourself. If you're here on the phone, you'll hit *6. Take advantage of the brilliant and heart-centered accountant today, Barbara Johnson. And so when is the debt-free challenge? So talk about that while I finish getting everybody set up.
It's going to be July 12th at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So I think that's like 10 o'clock Pacific.
All right. So we got a couple weeks to get ourselves lined up. And I know you have another class happening that's really sold out, I think, at this point. So
I do have a few spots open, but it's the Profit First class.
Okay.
I do have a few it's pretty well sold out, but I could take probably 4 or 5 more people if they wanted to jump in on that.
Okay.
But that's on June 27th, which is next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. All right. Well, I'll look for the link for that. And I want everybody register for the debt-free challenge. Go to tinyurl.com/debt-free-MC. And I'll look for the other link if you want to join and grab one of those spots. And I mentioned that she's got this other class that's almost sold out because today's the day you want to register for the debt-free challenge because her classes always sell out. It's like she's not having hundreds and hundreds of people. She has a small group so that you get what you need. You get your answers. So register for the debt-free challenge today. And I'll find the link for the other one. Laura Barker.
Good morning, Barbara Johnson. What can I say? You have just made my life so much easier and peaceful. And it started, well, we've been knowing each other now for a little while and have watched your business grow. And guys, her brilliance, if you've not tapped into Barbara's brain, I just really want to encourage you to, because she is patient beyond words. And I was a mess. So let me just let you know that, just being fully transparent here. And I had so much anxiety around money. So Barbara's ability to come in and no matter how messed up you think your books are, she makes you feel good about it. Like, you know how you dread going to the dentist, right? Well, I still dread that. But I no longer dread talking with my accountant, right? I look forward to it. She makes me feel better. She makes my life actually better because there's more money in it, and I don't fear it anymore and all that. So Barbara, I'm just saying thank you and encouraging people. And her debt-free challenge it's so much fun, and you will figure out that there's so much you can do and it's not painful. And the Profit First thing, oh my gosh, guys. So she just has so many tricks up her sleeve that you don't want to miss a single one. So I really just saying thank you, Barbara, for everything you do.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I love what you said there, Laura. Like, if your books are a mess right now, you're like, oh, I don't want anybody to see. We got to get past that, and having someone like Barbara, that's a judgment-free zone, just here to show you how to get out from the dark. Right. That's what I heard. So it's a beautiful view. Whether you're, highly profitable and you're taking it to that next level, or you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to look at it. It's time to look. Right.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
You can't figure it out if you don't see what's there.
So good. All right. Thank you, Laura Barker. Thank you. And thank you for all you do to contribute, because I know you and Barbara work together and you get a lot of leads from LinkedIn, right?
Absolutely. I will tell you, Laura's LinkedIn. If you don't do the Barker 20, you're not working with LinkedIn the right way. That the Barker 20 is amazing
It
at
is.
getting things going in the business.
Yep. Woo, woo, woo. All right. And I think Laura's going to be the guest in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Peggy Lee Hansen, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. All right, Barb, this might be out of your wheelhouse a little bit, but I have received a credit card application in the mail that says that I can get 0 interest for 18 months on a balance transfer. Now, my question is, which card do I choose for that?
Well, that would depend on what you have going on also. I would transfer the highest interest rate card amount over to that one. But the bad part about this is, and people use balance transfers frequently incorrectly. I'm going to transfer this over and I've got 0% interest. And yeah, they'll be working to pay it off, but they don't get it paid off in the time frame. That's one thing they do wrong. Or the second thing they do is, I've now balance transferred over to this new card. Now I've got this free card I'm just going to keep charging on. So you're just recharging that card back up to a max, and you're doubly worse than you were before, because now you've still got the charge max that has the bad interest rate, plus you've got this other one you're trying to pay off in the amount, and you're just you constrain yourself into this little tiny ball going, okay, now I really can't move because I've tightened the noose around myself.
I see. Yeah, I can understand that. I've been guilty of that before.
Yeah. You kind of have to do the right way, or else I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking about is, and I do this with my PayPal credit as well, is that I divide the number of payments, of how much it's going to be, like for 6 months. And then I would divide for this credit card per se of 18, so however much I owe. So that would always be 0, so I wouldn't get knocked at the end.
Yeah.
Right. That is the best way to pay off that card. Just make sure you're not recharging on the card that you just freed up.
Right. And then, but leave that balance, because that will increase my credit rating. Right.
Absolutely. You don't want, like I said, there is that siren song of, I have a completely empty card I can charge something on.
Yeah.
I would hide it, put it somewhere where you're not going to find it.
Yep.
Don't, just keep it free.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you very much.
Really good. Thanks, Peggy Lee. Great question. And one thing that I started doing, because I got a little burnt on one of those, on mapping out the payments, if I divided it exactly by the number of months that I had the time to pay, and then something happened and I can miss that one. Because in my mind, it was like, oh, there's no interest. So what I started doing was anchoring it back. So if it was 18 months interest, I divided it by 12 months to pay it off, so that I didn't get caught in a trap.
Right. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because we're human and stuff happens.
Yeah, stuff happens.
So we can plan for it better. It's good.
Yeah,
definitely really good.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing today from Barbara, as well as from the questions and the things we're talking about here, is how to, number one, make money your friend, and number two, play the money game. So go ahead, get that 0% card, earn the cash back when you charge it. Like, when we pay attention to our numbers and we, pay attention to our money, it'll pay us back, as Deborah Morrison also says. And it's time to stop being so, gun shy about it, right? Yeah, really good. All right, so let's go ahead, and I want to have you all register for the debt-free challenge. So you're going to go to tinyurl.com/debt-free MC, and I found the link for the class, the Profit First class, which, you perked everybody's ears up when we just talked about that a little bit,
Right.
So that is tinyurl.com/Profit First MC, all lowercase, all one word. So she's giving you an easy system to follow here. Another thing I love about her. So good.
Try to make it as easy as possible. That's the best way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I think we've got a few more callers. Olivia Jones, you're up next.
I got a quick question, Barbara, for you. When you're strategizing in terms of money, when you're looking at the whole picture with as far as building your credit as well as getting your profit level with your business, being able to keep that balance. Because one of the things I often challenge with is, okay, it's been said you spend money to make money. And then I am working on spending money that will help to bring in additional clientele and attract clientele, but I might have to use my money in a manner where it's not coming in as quickly. So being strategic with that and being mindful that, okay, I'm still trying to keep my credit at a good place, my credit, but that debt income ratio type of thing, and then also investing in my business so that my business grows, and keeping my personal finances balanced, because I feel like I'm in a good place financially. It feels good, but then I want to break through to a larger place where I'm even able to help someone else.
The biggest thing with that, yes, you do have to spend money to make money, but it's properly spending the money. You want to make sure that what you're investing in, you're actually using, and it's actually going to give you that return on investment. Especially people sign up for these classes that are like recurring monthly classes, but if you're not going to the class, it's not valuable to you. You're wasting your money. You might as well throw your money in the garbage can, because you're not getting it back. It's done. Or you buy a one-time class and then it sits on your, and I've done this and I hate that I've done this, but you buy a class thinking, oh yeah, that's going to really help my business. I'll be able to, do this and this and this. And then you never go to the class because you don't have time. You're networking, you're working on this, you're talking with this, you're doing all of the other things that is really growing your business, but that class you purchased is just sitting there. And so you have to be very mindful. And this is a part of what I go into with the debt-free challenge specifically, is mindful of what you're spending your money on. Is it giving you that return on investment? Because if it's not, then you need to cut it out. And that can be hard sometimes, but it has to happen.
Right.
If you're going to grow your business, you need that money freed up so you can spend it on something that is going to give you that return on investment.
Thank you.
I love that. So as lifelong learners and people who enjoy learning, myself included, one of the things that because I've done the same thing, I've bought things, this is going to be great, and then I was too busy and didn't use it. What I've started to now do is when I purchase something, like for example, I saw an ad on Facebook, become a certified human rights advocate and consultant, and that's my jam, and I love to learn about that and help human beings advance. And so I signed up for it, and I was like, okay, how many hours is this? And then I'm building in over, the weeks, actually getting it in my calendar when I'm going to do the class. So combining looking at your money with looking at your time allotments, that's going to give you that winning formula.
Absolutely. That's actually a great way to do it. I love your time management, time blocking system that you use. It's a great way. When you buy something, schedule it in, make sure it's on your calendar, that you're not just throwing the money.
Yeah. When you join a membership, if anybody here happens to not yet be a member, when you become a member, block out the first Tuesday of the month for the members call, the third Tuesday, block those things out, and then do your planning. So anyway, love it. Olivia, thank you for the great question. Let's go next to Darlene, I believe has her hand up. Darlene, you there?
Yes, I am here. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So glad to be in the room. And Barbara, thank you for everything that you have shared with us. I just kind of wanted to piggyback on a little bit more of a question that was asked earlier in regards to switching your balance to another card for the zero balance.
Mhm.
Now, you did mention that you should free up that card or stick it in the freezer or whatever. Is there ever a time that you actually get rid of that card and cancel it? And does that affect your score, or does that affect your buying power or purchasing power later on? Because sometimes if you get rid of a card, it affects your score. So I'm just kind of curious about that. It's because I'm at that point where I would like to get I want to switch to a different card because of the perks that this other card would give me. But I'm wondering if I keep the card I have, will that be a negative effect?
There's two schools of thoughts on that. I will tell you, if you have a card that you free up and you cut it up and get rid of it completely, your score will take a little bit of a dip, but it will come right back up based on you're going to be paying off that 0% interest card faster than you would have paid off the other card because you're not paying interest on it.
Mhm.
And so your score will come right back up.
Okay.
The other thing is when you get rid of a card, you do want to make sure you've got at least 1 year of use out of it. You don't want to sign up for a card because it had 0% interest, use it for the 6 months at the 0% interest and pay it off and then cut it up and cancel the card. So that will hurt your credit rating as well.
Okay.
You do want to keep it for the year. However, do understand that anytime you get rid of a card, it's a short-term dip in your credit. It will come back up. It takes about a month or two.
Okay.
It'll take a couple months to get it to come back up, but it'll come right back up because again, you're paying off that 0% interest card faster than you would have the card that had the interest rate on it.
Gotcha. That
So-
I was curious about that because I didn't want to mess up my good score by, doing one or the other. But I like the idea of just holding on to the other card, and whenever I decide I want to use it smartly. But thank you
There
so
is
much,
that.
and I've already signed up for my class. And Nancy,
Yes.
blocking the time.
There you go. There you go. That is the way to do
Thank
it.
you both so much.
Like, you and I are a powerhouse. We're both wearing like pinkish red today too. So we got you. All right. Good. All right, let's go to Dr. Jan next. Let's make sure that, yeah. Dr. Jan, did you have a question? I see you're.
Yes, I do. Trying to unmute. Good morning, Nancy and Barbara. Normally, I can't make it on Wild Wednesdays. I'm at the gym, but for some reason, I need to be here today.
You know, right? That's so good.
But I have a question.
Sure.
I have a podcast, and I bought, since it's, from the waist up, I started buying different tops and blouses, so I could, have them on my podcast. So I was told by one accountant that I couldn't write them off because I could use them, personally. But then I was told by another accountant that I could if I would get a pen with my logo on it and pin it to my top, and then it would be like my uniform. So now I want to know, can I write those tops off?
Let me tell you, that's creative though, right?
It's a creative way to do it. However, the IRS, there are several rulings that they have made. A pin does not make it a uniform. And what you're trying to say is what you're buying is a uniform. It has to be a permanent thing on the shirt or pants or whatever for it to be a uniform. It can't just be a pin or something. The IRS has ruled against those being classified as uniform because you can take the pin off and wear it anywhere. And so they definitely have, there are many cases where they have ruled against the person trying to claim those as uniforms.
Okay, thank you.
So you can't write your wardrobe off at all, like if you're a professional speaker, because that's really what she's saying.
Right, you can't. Because you can wear those clothes anywhere.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
What about getting my
Like I
hair
said, get
done,
your-
my nails done?
No, because those are all can be used anytime, anywhere. They're not just specific for the business.
I'm thinking Jennifer Lopez has a line item on her tax return for that stuff.
She usually puts her, I mean, if you have a permanent logo on something,
Uh-huh.
you know, if
No,
you
but
have
I
the
mean,
one,
huh?
if you have the one embroidered on something,
That's what I'm thinking. That's where my mind is going. So thanks for that, Dr. Jan. I'm like, oh, I like this idea.
Okay, thank you very much.
if it's
Awesome. Good
actually embroidered on it, it counts as a uniform. Even though you can wear it out and about, you're advertising your business while you're wearing the shirt.
Ah, Dr. Jan, new
It's not
idea,
embroidered
right?
on there.
Good idea.
There you
Like
go.
people who get their car wrapped. If it's completely wrapped and it's a permanent part of the car, you can claim that as a deduction. You can claim your whole car as an advertising deduction. However, if you just put a magnetic sign on the side of it, you can't.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
All right, we all need to go to her classes. So
Yes, definitely. I'm signing up right now.
so go to tinyurl.com/debt-free-MC, all lowercase, all one word. And if you want to go to 2 of her classes, the next one coming is June 27th, and that's Profit First. And you'll go to tinyurl.com/Profit First MC. So you can see the system there she uses. Good. All right, Dr. Jan, thank you for that great question.
Thank you.
Peg Duchesne, you're next.
Good morning, Barbara. I took your class in January, already seeing results. I am so glad you're not only my strategic accountant, but my bookkeeper as well. And the steps that we put into place in January are showing fruition and progress thus far. And I am so looking forward to a refresher course at mid-year to really ramp it up and continue the progress. So thank you so much.
Fantastic.
And I am so glad I turn it all over to you because I'm a words person, not a numbers person.
Right.
And you do the numbers and I rest easy, sleep well, knowing that you've got it all under control. So thank you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much.
And
Glad
then
to-
I'm going to put a savings account together so I can wrap my vehicle.
Right? Then start
Right.
it off. I love that.
there are things that you can claim. It's just that they have to be a permanent fixture. So
Right.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Peg, glad to have you with us. Our
Happy to be here. Yep.
message therapist.
Message therapist. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I think we got time for 1 or 2 more. Maria Isabel, did you have a question?
Well, yes, and also a comment.
Yes.
I am one of those, I am debt free. Thank God. I had to go through bankruptcy 13 years ago, but that got me overcautious to the point that I don't spend money on anything, and my business needs money right now. But that fear of going back into debt, it's horrible. So I was wondering if your class will help me to be more, I don't want to say cautious, because cautious, it's been the word in my mind for the past 13 years. Or how to think about how to grow my business and how to get my taxes in shape. And well, that's basically it. I'm very afraid.
I understand. I would actually recommend my Profit First Masterclass for that.
Okay.
You're already debt free, and the strategies I'm going to go into in the debt free will help with credit and such like that. However, with what you're talking about, you're more of a mindset. And I would actually recommend the Profit First Masterclass. And if you get value out of that, to completely, I would recommend me taking over your books, because I literally, we go through it and monitor what you're spending, where it's going, and I can help you, see where you've got money to be able to spend to grow the business. It's gives you, I mean, from what I've heard from my other clients, they get this peace of mind where they know what's going on, so that they're not afraid to grow their business by spending some money.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Thank
beautiful. All right. Well, we are approaching the top of the hour. I really want to acknowledge everyone for being here, listening in, paying attention to your money, and signing up for Barbara's classes. And the fact that you're delivering this to us for $27 is a huge gift, and it shows your heart as the heart-centered accountant, wanting to make sure that nothing gets in our way of being successful and profitable. And yes, I will put the link in the chat again. Let me mention the debt-free class is tinyurl.com/debt-free MC. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat, along with the Profit First Masterclass, which is tinyurl.com/Profit First MC. My friend Barbara, final thoughts, tips you want to share with the audience?
The biggest thing is as far as your money goes, the more you know about your money and where it's going, the more you know your numbers for your business, the more peace of mind you're going to have. Because you can't control something you don't know. It's like covering your eyes and walking across the room and hoping nothing's, in your way. And that's pretty much how people are, doing with their finances when you don't have a bookkeeping system in place. Whether it's a spreadsheet or QuickBooks or whatever you're using, you want to be able to keep track of it, so you're not, again, walking blindly across the room hoping not to trip on something.
So good. So good. All right. Thank you, my friends. Join us at the upcoming classes. I'll see you there. And again, go to womensprosperityNetwork.com Friday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm doing the the foundational pieces from our 2-day level up workshop so that you can move forward. So register for that. And I decided to make that free. What can I say? Happy mid-year. Thank you so much, Barbara. Get out there, make it a great day. I appreciate you greatly, my friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone. Get out there, make it a wow day, and we'll see you again next week for Wow Wednesday. Have a good one.